I started playing guitar in the 5th grade. I was 10 years old. My mother wanted me to do some sort of extracurricular activity, and they had introduced instruments into the general student body. Unfortunately, they did a lot of wind and orchestral instruments, and I wanted to play the guitar because, that's what cool kids do. So I said, I want to play guitar. They said, we don't offer guitar, so I kind of just took it up independently. So when I was 10 and I had gotten my first guitar, the first thing I did was I got lessons set up with a guitar teacher in my township. His name was Ray Romano. No relation to the actor whatsoever, just a coincidence. He had an online downloadable book of jazz music, so he'd assign me jazz songs to do every once in a while. And then we'd download songs and put them onto CDs, and there'd be more classic rock stuff. So initially he picked out the lineup of songs and I'd play them, and soon as time went on, I got to pick out the songs. The first guitar I got was when I graduated the 4th grade. I got a black electric guitar, Stratocaster I believe, and a really tiny Yamaha amp. It wasn't much, but it started me off. So back when I was in high school at home, I would play every weekday, probably 45 minutes to an hour. So I was playing solid 5 hours a week. So I really got a lot of practice in. But ever since I got to college, I just haven't had nearly as much time. At one point in my life, I knew upward of probably 75 songs that I could just play on command. That's a lot less now, but probably my favorite song to play is Stairway to Heaven because it's a long song, but it's a rewarding song. It kind of bounces all over the place. It's fun to play. And I know this sounds really cliche because, what guitar player doesn't know how to play Stairway to Heaven? But it's really an accomplishment for any guitar player. So I've never really played professionally ever. I don't know if I've ever really wanted to. I kind of wanted to keep this more as a hobby as opposed to a lifestyle. Struggling musicians and whatnot. I've played with friends, but I guess my most significant accomplishment was I played with a professional artist. His name is Francis Dunnery. He's, I guess, an indie folk singer known to the airwaves of XPN. He does house concerts, so my parents had him over for a house concert one time, and I did a piece with him. The good thing about playing guitar is you can play things people have done, but you can also make your own music. So although I haven't personally really written anything myself, I think it's a nice way to experiment and think outside of the box when you play the guitar. So if what you like to do is create, then yes, I'd advise playing the guitar.